Okay, and then just in this last video, we're just going to cover some tips and tricks I've learned regarding trading the South African index over the last couple of years then. My first tip is if you're starting out trading and you've got a relatively small account and you come across channels, in this instance here with 300 points, rather just miss the trade. There's no point taking the trade and risking more than you're comfortable with, say at your 2% risk. Because if you lose a higher amount, it's going to annoy you and you're going to want to start becoming revenge trading. Rather just miss the trade, build up your account a little bit slower, become more comfortable with the strategy, and then you can take the larger trades later on. My next tip is once we've had a nice breakout from our channels and it's moved about 150, 175 points, I like to move my stop loss up to about halfway between the channel, and then as soon as it's moved up to about 175 to 200, I'm going to move my stop loss to entry. So in this case here, at the top of the three bars that have broken out, I would have moved my stop loss to the red line, and then it came back down. I was plenty of space for movement, and then it moved back up. I would have protected my trade by moving my stop up to entry, and then I would have been taken out at my target. For my final tip here, it's in regard to what I was saying earlier on about trading large channel stops. As you can see here, the stop loss would have been 430 points and the target would not have been reached as it only reached 370 points. So your choices are one of two things. You can either take the reduced target, reduced by about 0.8 target to one risk, or you can hold the position overnight, and as you can see the next day, it would have easily hit target. That's entirely up to you. I don't like holding positions overnight because as it jumped up, it could easily have jumped down and you could have actually ended up in a loss. You can take this risk into consideration and take what's known as a guaranteed stop loss, but you do need to take them out when you take out the trade, and it does cost you a few extra points on the spread. So it's entirely up to yourselves. It is slightly riskier. You can put in the guaranteed stop loss to your entry or lock in some of the profits if you do decide to hold overnight. But personally, I would probably just take the reduced target and start again the next day.